coming up, the South by Southwest Interactive in Austin, Texas, and the BBC's Dave Lee is there for us, so what's he expecting?
Well, this is a conference where startups work along every year, and the goal is to be noticed, really. A good performance at South by Southwest, as it's so called, is often the ticket to gaining millions of users for whatever your startup is, whether it's a social network or an app of some kind. And what companies hope is that by impressing the kind of early adopters, the people that come to this kind of event, that will have a knock-on effect, get lots of new users, and also, crucially, attract investors as well.
Yeah, because Twitter started at this thing, didn't it?
So that was infamously one of the most impressive kind of South by Southwest moments. They managed to convince one group of people that Twitter was a cool app, so they all signed up, they told their friends, and the rest is history, really. Twitter exploded, having a bit of a tough time at the moment, granted, but back when it launched, it really did accelerate its popularity. Because the thing with many of these social networks is they're only any good if there's a critical mass of users. So until you get that critical mass, they're not that fun to be on, but who joins a social network that isn't fun yet? So it's a chicken and egg situation for these companies, and South by Southwest is a way to address that.
Is the rate of production of good apps diminishing?
No, what I would say though, there's a definite feeling here that there's not as big a pot of money as there used to be. Some of the technology stocks have taken a real hit this last year, companies like Twitter, companies like LinkedIn, and so investors aren't quite as generous, I'd say, with their wallet, because unlike in previous years where going public could mean a massive payoff for early investors, there's worry now that technology companies that do close aren't going to get quite the same return on their investment.
And I think the President is turning up to this President Obama. Why, and what is he expected to say?
He is continuing his campaign that he's had for a couple of years now, of using the sort of biggest names in startups, the most talented developers and coders, and he's trying to kind of convince them to work for the government, to do projects that will help efficiency. One of the examples he's expected to bring up is about the green card process, applying for a green card to do residents in the US. It used to involve lots and lots of paperwork, many stages, lots of people, and obviously people are expensive, and instead they managed to use to simplify that whole thing. President Obama is hoping to kind of spread that message and get people who may perhaps be thinking, I might go and work in San Francisco, they might be instead tempted to get to work in Washington DC or places like that. The big problem, of course, though, is that big startups in San Francisco pay a lot of money, and it's whether the government can afford to stuff up the same kind of cash to get the top talent. But he's on a campaign to redivert some of those development skills to help the government become more efficient and cost effective.
Dave Lee from performing the Power Centre at the South by Southwest Interactive in Texas. They reckon that the young people will get there. You're listening to NewsHour. Almost 5 years ago, the first people took to the streets in Syria to demand greater freedom. The big protests, the first one took place in Durham in the south, and the first deaths occurred there as well as the protests were crushed. Well, NewsHour's Lisa Dissent is in Damascus now, and she met President Assad's media advisor Fatema Shaban and asked about what's happened in the last 5 years and whether it frightened the government